Hey, sorry Thomas, so I'm back with a different type of video this time, and it's basically a bunch of books that I've possibly read, but I wasn't able to finish, whether it's a standalone book or the series. And I mean, every reader knows that there are gonna be, a, I don't want to say a lot, but the fact is that there's going to be a lot of books that you started but you've never finished, whether it's a standalone or a series. So this video is basically my version of that. So I'm just going to do a quick run through with these books on my shelves. So the first book that I started, but I haven't finished, is The Promise of Amazing by Robin Constantine. I remember I started this book, I was in university at the time. I believe it was year 2 or 3, possibly. I remember taking a photo of this when I just started Instagram. So it was kind of like a nostalgic kind of thing for me to, every time I see this book, I remember that. This book, it started off really well. I think I only got through the first 2 to 3 chapters. I think I was really into reading these type of books at the time, but I must say it was going really great. I may possibly give this a second read at some point. Well, the first series that I've started reading but I haven't finished is the Hush Hush series. So this is the first book. There are 4 books. I'm gonna show you all 4. This is the second one, Crescendo. I've started the first book. I finished it. I started this book when I really got into reading. I started off with the Shadowhunter series. Then I believe I fell into the Hush Hush series because it was along the lines of angels, and I have a thing for angels apparently. So, but I think like I started looking into a lot of angelic books, and I think I saturated that sort of reading. So I couldn't really care less to finish the series, I guess, because I was just so, like I was just so accustomed to the storyline of Fallen Angels. These are the third and fourth book in the series, Silence and Finale. The covers are really amazing. I love them. I remember I rushed and I bought them in the bookstores, and well, they're just sitting on my shelves now. But maybe one day I will go through it again. The Whispering Skull by Jonathan Stroud. It is the second book in the Lockwood and Co series. When I first started my YouTube channel, the third, I believe it's the third book and third video that I did was a review of the first story, which was The Screaming Staircase. I started it because I was getting into the reviewing and stuff, and I thought I would review this one, but I think other books came into play, and I just put this down because I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. It was going really great, but I felt like the first book did a lot for me, and the second one, I think I dived into it too quickly, so that may have been an issue for me. Who knows, maybe I may read it, I don't know. It's The Six of Crows. And this is the second book and final book. It's Crooked Kingdom. I love these covers. These are the British books, British versions. And it is a really great book, Six of Crows, but it's very intense. As you can see, it's very compact. The writing is very tiny. If you know how British books are, the writing is very tiny. So you can imagine the size of, well, the amount of reading you actually have to do in this. It makes it difficult for me to keep abreast of everything in the book because it's a lot. So, and the thing is, I believe there's a prequel or something to the series, and it's called Gracia, I think. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but apparently that will help with this series. Even though this series is a standalone series, it helps knowing about the Gracias and whatnot, which I haven't read. So I think that's why I'm probably not really into finishing the series. It's The Magisterium. The first book is The Iron Trial. This is a book by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. Cassandra Clare is the writer of the Shadowhunter Chronicles, and Holly Black is the writer of The Cruel Prince. This book was really good. It's actually aimed for younger kids, but at the time I really enjoyed it. I think if I do read it back, I'll enjoy it, but I don't think I would, because I feel like I'm sick and tired of going back to books just to keep up with a series, especially if it's a series that I'm not really so much into. The second book is The Copper Gauntlet. and there are, I think, 4 or 5 other books in the series, and I just haven't had the time to buy them. I haven't even read this one, so I don't think it's a series that I'm gonna get into again. Everyone Brave is Forgiven. This is a kind of contemporary or literary style of book. I remember seeing this on sale and I bought it because I thought it was really great. I have a thing for the war, like World War II and stuff, and people like love and whatnot, how people survived during the war. This book seemed to have that in it, but I haven't gotten by and reading it. Fallen series. There is a movie based on the first book. This is the first book by Lauren Kate. It's kind of like the same thing with Hush Hush, just based on angels. It's a very great book. It's kind of dark and depressing, and I love that. I really like the main character, but I read this a couple of years ago, and I really can't remember much of the story. I think I remember a lot more from the movie than the book. Certain things I remember. So, and the thing is, like, I don't think I want to go back to this series to finish. Go back to this book to finish the series, and I will show you why. Because this is the rest of the series. Oh, I have it upside down. So we have Rapture, Passion, Torment, and the prequel Unforgiven. It's sad that I actually bought the entire series because, you know, at the time I was really into reading this series, and I think that was just a major flop. So this is probably about $400 or $500 right there for me. Maybe I may sell it, I don't know. The Demon King. This book was one of the first few books that I started reading. So this was like, I was in high school, I think, when I read this book. I remember finishing it, but I think it's one of those books, it's also intense, and I haven't, like, it was kind of hard to remember a lot of stuff. And I think I remember starting it back a second time because I wanted to finish the series. I actually bought the entire series, which consists of 4 books, but I never got by to finishing reading the first book the second time. So the rest of that series is right here. The Exiled Queen, the Grey Wolf Throne, and the Crimson Crown. Yeah. So this is probably about $300 to $400 here again. What can you do? So yeah, that's about it. I think there are some books on my shelf that I probably read but didn't finish. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys are welcome to, you know, tell me about these books if you've read them. Maybe that will encourage me to you know, start to read them over again. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.